Sorry, rescuers down under, but Frozen 2 is really Disney Animation's first foray into full-blown theatrical sequels. Prior to this, they were all direct-to-video. But considering how well sequels have served Pixar, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that, also there's Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph's sequel as well, come to think of it. Although that was not a very good example of what sequels can do. Although the Disney Princess stuff was amazing. It's just continuing to show how important the Disney Princess and Queen brand is to the studio. But so I bring this up because you have to wonder, will they make Frozen 3? Will they go for a trilogy, right? I mean, considering the nostalgia machine that Disney has become and what a cornerstone of the Disney empire Frozen has become, it does seem likely. But when, right? I mean, we're also waiting on, speaking of trilogies, Incredibles 3, do it. Zootopia 2 is supposed to happen, although Rich Moore infamously left the studio. So that really, I think that will still happen, but I think it will delay it. And also, Disney Animation wants to make some original movies. Although that's going so poorly for Pixar, we'll see how it works out for Disney Animation. Launching new IPs is tough, which is why being a nostalgia machine is so profitable. But also, when you factor in all the other Disney divisions, the Mouse House has a very crowded waiting room when it comes to release dates. I mean, even if these studios all want to do this, they still have to, get in line for Disney. And, Disney's pretty much releasing a film a month. And that's very difficult to do. Although they're doing it, right? People just go see a Disney movie every month and they're very happy. Because Disney does have a pretty good amount of variety. It's interesting. Their lack of variety serves them well on the big screen, but it's one of the main criticisms of their streaming service. All right, but anyway, we're talking about Frozen 3. And the other reason I bring all this up is that some of my ideas here, they might see the light of day as animated shorts instead of full-blown films. Frozen already generating 2 shorts, although one of them inexplicably put in front of Coco and delaying that movie from starting for like 30 minutes. It was such a bad idea. I've seen the short since, and when you're not waiting for Coco to start, it's enjoyable. All right, but one has to wonder if a royal wedding can really be done justice by a short film. Surprise, it cannot. Here's your answer. Just ask Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. It didn't work out for them. So yes, that's right. With Anna saying yes to Kristoff's proposal, the next obvious story point is their wedding, which I'm guessing will have a winter theme. And I think we should just take a moment to appreciate or laugh at the irony that a franchise that started out touting girl power and that true love can be more than just romantic or between a man and a woman, and touts is she or isn't she LGBT heroine, that story would end up focusing on a traditional wedding, right? While Elsa is voluntarily exiled from Arendelle in the woods, with her roommate. It's crazy, right? But don't forget, Disney's very good at playing both sides. And as I've been saying, this might be glacial progress. Look, Frozen's LGBT representation is even winter themed. It might be glacial progress, but it's progress nonetheless. But Disney also, outside of their entertainment, has a very lucrative wedding business. So it all starts to make sense. I think a big question when it comes to Anna's wedding is, can Elsa make clothes for other people? Because I'm sure Anna would love to have her design her wedding dress. I was going to say, does Anna want like her own identity at her wedding? She want to be her own person with like a spring or a fall theme maybe, right? But then I was thinking it would save money on decorations if Elsa could just all do it. But then they're a royal family, so But I guess they want to be like Coldplay, decrease their carbon footprint. So it's good if Elsa just does it all organically. But yeah, so it's funny. These are all fun conversations that can be had in a third film about a wedding. But also a wedding, no matter who's making the clothes, means a ton of new looks for all the characters, and that's always fun, especially with this franchise. I do enjoy seeing Anna and Elsa's outfits. Kristoff is supposed to have new outfits, but he looks to me like he's always wearing the same thing. But I like seeing Elsa and Anna's new outfits. So yes, my foundation idea for Frozen 3 is Anna and Kristoff's wedding. With Olaf as the ring bearer, right? It all comes together so beautifully. Sven for best man, and if Anna walks down the aisle and sees Kristoff standing there with his reindeer in a tuxedo, both of them, well then she is a good match for Kristoff if she keeps walking. So yes, and Elsa could throw the bachelorette party, which I'm guessing is also ice themed. All the Snowgies could attend. And then I have to wonder, though, if Elsa will be the maid of honor or would she officiate the wedding? It looks like Anna and Elsa need more friends. Enter Lieutenant Matthias, Ryder, and Honeymaren. So let's start with Lieutenant Matthias, who Sterling K. Brown did such a good job voicing in the second film. He's funny, he's smart, he's been tested, and he's already given Anna really good advice in Frozen 2, which led to a very good song, which was the song itself full. It was actually the song version of Lieutenant Matthias' advice. So he's a cool guy. So Matthias can not only continue to be Anna's top advisor as now that she's queen, but he can also put his life back together after being himself exiled in the Enchanted Forest. He did not go voluntarily. He's missed so much while he's been gone. Remember, he doesn't even know what a photograph is. So there's lots of good jokes to be mined there, and Brown can deliver them all quite well. I also want to see him and his lady friend progress their situation as well. Maybe a quiet wedding, as in contrast to Anna and Kristoff's big wedding. All right, or maybe they decide to have a double wedding because at the end of the day, it's not all about pomp and circumstance. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll get to Ryder and Honeymaren in just a minute, but I want to keep with this, I'm on a train of thought here. All right, so now the next thing we want to ask ourselves is the wedding the A storyline or the B storyline? And where's the danger in Frozen 3 besides pre-wedding jitters? And is that really Sven next to you as your best man? All right, so how about the fact that usually royal marriages are done to benefit the kingdom, not for love. And maybe a nearby kingdom and some of Anna's other advisors, and maybe even some of her people, are like, hey, maybe you should marry someone who will improve everyone's lives who are your subjects, right? Because what does Kristoff bring to the table for everyone else? I mean, sure, Anna loves him, but what's he really doing for Arendelle? I mean, as I said in my spoiler review for Frozen 2, he still has found nothing to do. All right, so it's a bit of a Hans retread, and the live-action Cinderella actually touched on this as well. But it could be an interesting commentary on the royal marriages that are the core of Disney princess movies, right? Which Frozen is all about subverting. So like they get to cheat, they get to have a Disney princess wedding, but in Frozen style. But of course, don't worry. At the end of all this questioning, of course, Anna will marry Kristoff, and maybe he'll find something to do. Now, another way to bring in other kingdoms besides the wedding, or perhaps in addition, right? This might be how the whole maybe you should marry someone else conversation gets started, because they're already in town. They're like, so what's happening while we're here? And they're like, oh, well, our queen's getting married. And they're like, what? To who? That reindeer guy? All right, so why would they be in town? Well, the other kingdoms may come to pay tribute to the new Fifth Spirit, Jesus style. She already walks or rides her horse on water. So yes, now that Elsa has all this power, look at how she saved Arendelle. Well, with great power comes great responsibility. What can she do with her power? What will she do with it? I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of ideas, which might be another story element for the movie. And maybe something will come up that Elsa needs to deal with, that only Elsa can deal with her powers as the Fifth Spirit. Then finally, top 5 ideas for Frozen 3. As the Fifth Spirit, Elsa needs to officially set up shop in Ahtohallan, her new icy island in the sea. I'm talking new palace and a play area for her water horse Knock, available soon at a store near you. I know you, Disney. We know what you're all about, and I don't mind. I love it. I love that you have so many. You have horizontal and vertical integration. You're all over the place. I'm sure Frozen 3 will also establish that Elsa spends a lot of time with Honeymaren, but also Ryder, so that Disney can again play both sides. Ryder, Disney, Elsa's beard, and Honeymaren's. Also, Northuldra leader Yelena could be Elsa's advisor, just as Matthias is Anna's. Yelena and Matthias were very much equals during their time in the Enchanted Forest, and now they could come to advise both sides of the bridge. I like it. I like it actually quite a bit. So that's how I see Frozen 3 taking shape. What do you think? Do you want a Frozen 3? How fast do you want it? Took 6 years between the first two, although Incredibles had that beat. I think they should pick these up a little bit, quite frankly. Because again, I think there's too much to unpack here for a short. So share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.